Hey, everybody. Well, I wasn't supposed to do that.
Yeah, that was supposed to be me. Oh, my God. I had my mouth open. It's like a fly flew in it. And Rick was like, I can do it.
Talk about a cold open.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm sorry. Hot open. Hot open. Wow.
Come on.
Oh, my goodness. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our 79th installment of the Pucking Around podcast. We are one episode away from the 80 episode mark, which is a mini milestone, not a big one, but still a mini one, I'd say. We have a good show.
A milestone for you is every 10 episodes. Every 10 episodes is a milestone for Alex.
It's a mini milestone. It's not a big one. Mini one.
It's a mini milestone.
Big milestones is like
it's a mini marathon.
80 is not a milestone. 100.
He said it's a mini milestone.
Rick is.
Plus 50.
But any dang way. We got a good one for you guys tonight. We're going to be talking about our next division. We're going to jump into the Metropolitan Division this week with the 4 teams that did miss the playoffs. We're going to be doing another episode of Who You Would Rather Have, or Would You Rather, is what we call this segment. And then the NHL 26 cover reveal was just announced today. We're going to give our thoughts, whether we agree and or disagree with the choice. But we'll save that piece for the end of the episode. Let's go around, starting with the man above me. You know him, you love him. The seasoned veteran, Mr. Rick Seligman. Rick, how you doing today, brother?
The man above me. You're talking about God?
No, I'm talking about
me. I mean, it's similar. I get it's similar. Hey, everybody. I'm in a weird mood tonight, okay?
Yeah, you're stealing my thunder.
He didn't have his meds.
You're taking things over a little too literal. Let me just move on to the next guy before he makes even weirder. We're going to go clockwise here. Go into the man at my top right corner. From the Hibernation podcast, he is the primary host of said show, one of 3 of said show, Mr. Cam Sakarzik. Cam, how you doing?
Of said show. What's going on, everybody? Of said show.
That being
that's
said,
the meme for tonight. That being said, that's going to be the fucking meme of the night.
Of said show.
Said show.
For those who haven't seen it yet, Hibernation did just release a new episode. Off-season blows. Take a gander of it if you haven't. Cam, Whitey, and Chavo go over the Bruins off-season, and Whitey's wacky predictions begin. So, and
it was such a bad. It was.
Right.
I wouldn't call it a prediction. It was a wager. It was really bad.
Oh, Whitey's wacky wagers. Oh, yeah. I got 2 of the 3 W's. I'm sorry. But anyway, last but not least, the man to my right, from the north of the border, here's my co-host of the Flyer Gonna Flyer Pod at 6'3".
Introduce him before he falls asleep.
43 pounds. I'm guessing all the weight, to be honest with you. Eric Martino.
What's up, boys? I think that got me a little pumped there. I was about to fall asleep on my chair, man, a little burnt out, but hey, let's go. Let's do this.
Listen, I had to remake the Jets Tango draft pick a little bit there. Get us a little bit in the mood. We're going to be
if you ever do another intro like that, I'm literally going to get the John Cena and put that as the background noise. Like, Jesus Christ.
Listen, John Cena just lost the title last night, so we can't go too hard on him today. Cena retirement tour is 4 months. 4 months left. And as a wrestling fan, I am heartbroken. I'm gonna miss John Cena. West Newbury, Massachusetts.
One, he's old as shit, and 2, it's all scripted anyway. Duh.
Don't matter. When you put your body on the line for that shit, you get the crap beat out of you.
Yeah, he puts his body on the line for that shit. It's not really on the line. It's more like on the script.
Scripted and fake are 2 different things. Just remember.
Oh, scripted and fake are 2 different things?
No, it's fake.
No, it's scripted.
It's fake.
Rick, I want you to go into a wrestling ring and take a bump from 20 feet onto a ladder on top of another ladder, and you tell me how you feel after that.
I'd like to see how these guys do at the Olympics. Then you'll say it's fake.
Well, I mean,
they'd honestly do good. In fact, Kurt Angle won a gold medal at the 1996 Olympics with a broken freaking neck.
Okay, so one example of a
Oh,
thousand.
guy.
they all could do it. Brock Lesnar was a world champion wrestler back at the University of Minnesota. I can go
Oh,
on,
yeah.
but
It doesn't
I'm
mean
with
that
Alex
they're
on this.
doing
Like, No, I'm
WWE is
with Alex.
not real, so whatever.
Hey,
No,
It's
I'm with
scripted.
Alex. I was like, yeah, they script the wins, but yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm with Alex. Like, they
They
They're
put
probably have
athletes.
a sense of skill.
They're athletes,
Rick,
but that's
I'm
not
going to say
wrestling.
this. Rick, I'm going to say this. If you have a moment, I want you to check out the new WWE documentary. It's called WWE Unreal, and it goes over everything that they do and all
Sounds
the crap
big
they
to
put
me.
their body on the lines with. You will
I
come to
didn't say they
appreciate.
don't. I didn't say anything about that or whether they're athletes or not. I said that's
Or
fake
Rick Jenkins,
wrestling.
undo
That's
it.
what I said.
Fake wrestling in scripted wrestling. It's scripted wrestling. You're still
Yeah,
performing a lot of the
You're
moves.
never going to change my mind, so let's move on to a different
They're
topic.
the worst.
We don't have enough time to try to change
The
my mind.
worst. The worst.
Anyway, so
Rick,
as
take
I
the fruit
stated,
juice.
we are going into our next division tonight. We're going to be jumping into the Metropolitan Division tonight. And Cam, let me pass this off to you. Why don't you lead us into this?
You completely and utterly caught me off guard with that. Holy crap. Yeah. What am I going to
Well, listen, you know what? You know
I'm
me
not
and
good
Eric.
on this spot with
You know
stuff,
who the
dude.
first
Yeah.
team is. You know me and Eric's thoughts, but I always like to hear the opposing fan base's thoughts on our team.
Well,
We give
yeah,
up.
I mean, we're just going to continue on with like our series of just going over the divisions of what teams need, how they did in the offseason, et cetera, et cetera. Dude, that's the best I got after just being kind of put on blast like that. Damn. Yeah, we're going to start this week in the Metro. We're going to start with the teams that didn't make the playoffs. Try to be in the order in which that they did not make it. So starting with 8th place going up from there. And for the Metro, the Philadelphia Flyers are the first on the list here. And as you guys know, that we have two strong Philadelphia Flyers fans in the form of Eric Martino and Alex Ferngully Fournette. Not Slags or I, but we got their fans here and they have the podcast. And if you guys listen to us and listen to them, you probably already know their thoughts and opinions on this already. But let's go into it a little bit deeper. They're interesting for me. They're a team that I think is going to get a lot better eventually. I don't think they're ready to make the next step just yet. I think they're still missing a couple things. They need a goaltender for sure. They need some more work on the offense. Albeit may not be that much. I still think they need a smidge more work on the defense. It's not a lot of work that I think needs to get done, but it's still work that needs to be addressed. I would imagine the next 2 years they're going to be right there. I don't know if I'm waiting for Eric and Alex to absolutely rip me a new one for saying it, but I don't see them going much higher than 6th place in the Metro Division this season. I'd be surprised if it was higher than 6th.
I'm not gonna roast you for that. That's not a terrible take. Rick, let me hear you, and then me, the two avid Flyers fans, will give our takes.
Oh, great. We're gonna go the old and senile route first. I see. Me first, then Rick.
All right, now you're opening the door there. You shouldn't have pointed me that direction.
I put myself in that category with you.
Oh, okay.
Don't
Okay.
ostracize me. We are in solidarity, Rick. We are in solidarity.
For just the WWE thing.
Right there. All right.
Rick, I swear to God.
No, that went right out the window. Okay, the Flyers. They need goaltending. Yeah, listen, they made some good moves in the offseason. I don't find any problem like them acquiring Zegras. I think that's actually good. I'm glad they got him and he didn't come to Montreal, but I think he'll do well in Philadelphia. So I think that's a good thing for them. I wanted to get into kind of this with what we took off of here that you didn't like that.
We'll save that for next week.
And so I think that they have the inferior Russian star that's coming up. So I don't know how that'll play out. Listen, I'm biased on that. I'm a Habs fan. I do think that, but I mean, Michkov is going to be fine. I think he'll have a good season. Yeah, I think Briere made some good moves. They've got a few years to go yet before they're going to be where Montreal is right now. You got to figure another 2, and probably they'll be where my team is right now. But I think they did a good job in the offseason. I really do. I have no problems with what they did. I can't really point to anything and go, look what they did. One thing, I thought they should have addressed the goaltending better, but I don't know what was out there really for them to address it with.
I have a comment on that with the goaltending. I mean, it looks like did you see what Buffalo signed Devin Levi to?
Yeah,
it was 2 years, 825, I think, or 812,000. I think you guys probably should have traded for a guy like Devin Levi if you wanted goaltending. I understand like people are like, oh, he hasn't cracked the NHL, he hasn't been able to stay. The only problem is look at the teams he was on before Florida was good. They were bad, and Buffalo, well, before they were bad, they were worse. So it's I think maybe Briere could have attempted to work some magic and get Levi, because it seems like they're going to roll with Ukko-Pekka, longest last name ever.
You don't know that he didn't, though, because just because he didn't get him.
I'm on the assumption that he did not, because they did not acquire him, right? So you're right. I'm working on the assumption that he did not kick the tires.
Well, I just want to say to that, just quickly to that point about Devin Levi, I think the Flyers were actually looking to acquire or trade or sign a more established veteran goalie, because I think this season the Flyers want to take the next step forward. So if you trade for a Devin Levi, you're just basically gambling that he's actually good and ready for the NHL. I think they just really wanted somebody that's at least legit able to play a good 30 to 40 games and give you solid goaltending.
Yeah,
I got a nice shiny Jonas Korpisalo for you.
No, honestly, I'm okay with the goalie that they did sign. We've talked about this in the Flyer pod. They did bring in Dan Vladar, who put up an .898 save percentage last season. It had a .915 save percentage on 5-on-5 hockey. That's pretty good. And if you look in that last third of the year, when the cracks were starting to show a little bit in Dustin Wolf's armor, he played pretty good hockey when he was thrown to the Wolves. The big thing, and Eric made a lot of good points that really made me feel comfortable more with the signing of it too. The big thing with him right now is he going to be accustomed to playing more games than what he has in Calgary? He is more of a 28 to 30 game guy. Here in Philly, he's probably going to get another 6-7 games at least. I think you're going to see him and Urson more as a 1A, 1B tandem, which is, I think, part of the reason why he signed here, because he knows he's going to get a good, significant amount of time. Urson's still going to be their likely number 1A, but it helps to have a guy like Vladar who is at least consistent. You know what you're going to get. He had a better season than any Flyers goalie last year.
He plays between 20 to 30 games, though, Alex, so I think that's fine. I think that's what you needed.
Yeah, so, I mean, if he goes up to 36, 37, I mean, it is still a 6-7 game jump, but I don't think it should be anything that is a little overwhelming for the guy. And it takes some much weight off of Urson, who was going to be thrown into a 50-plus game situation if he didn't get hurt last year. So when you look at the big picture, I like it that way. In terms of the Flyers as a whole, I definitely see some decent improvement with them. I think they're going to be right in the wild card hunt to the end this year. I do think they do fall a little short, but I think at this moment, my opinion may change when we make our season predictions on Flyer month. But as of today, recording day, August 4th, I do have them on the outside looking in. However, I do think they are going to make some significant improvement. I think Matvei Michkov takes another step. I think he's going to sniff about an 80-plus point season this year. He's got now you have the opportunity of playing him with not one, but two potentially semi-established centers and a defensive guy like Sean Couturier, who has finally shown some level of health, and a guy who is just as much offensive creativity as he does as Trevor Zegras, who also has some very underrated offensive IQ. And another thing that's going to be key, Eric knows this more than anyone. I am the number one fan of the Tyson Forrester fan club. His health is going to be detrimental to this team. Can you
elaborate when you said on the outside looking in terms of where you think that is?
So I do have them making an improvement. I think we were somewhere in the what, 74-point range last year, if I remember correctly, 75. It was
In terms
like
of
that.
play,
Something like that,
but
yeah.
in terms of
I have them
placement,
somewhere in the low to mid 80s.
in terms of placement in the division, where do you see that in outside, inside, or oh my god, I can't even speak English. Where do you see the outside
They're
looking
definitely
in?
better than Pittsburgh, and I think they're better than the Islanders.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be right around the 6-5 spot, I think. I don't know if they're better than Columbus. I don't know what you're going to get from the Rangers. I'd like to think they improve again. I think Washington regresses a little bit. I still think they're going to be what I originally predicted them as last year. More of a
Well, we'll
wild
get
card.
into that, but later
But
on.
I'm not going to go
with
too
those
deep
teams.
into those teams yet. But I have them right around that 5-6 range because I could see Columbus actually sneaking in, but I'm not going to get into them yet either. So I think that 5-6 range is right around where I have them in the division. When you said 6, I'm not going to give you much pushback on that because that's about where I have them as 6th or 5th in the division.
Can I say something in my defense? I forgot that you guys got Vladar. I totally forgot. So I wouldn't have mentioned because I think that's actually a good pickup for you guys.
My guy that I originally wanted, my guy I originally wanted was Alex Lyon, but Eric made some good arguments that really started swaying my comfortability in Dan.
I don't think you want.
I think Vladar is going to be better than Lyon would be for you.
Yeah, Lions.
I just wanted to say that, and where I see you guys finishing, I kind of agree with Cam. Probably around 6th in the division.
Yeah,
I don't think you get close enough to a wild card this year.
I don't even think you touched 5th. You might touch it once or twice in the earlier parts, but I don't think you touch 5th. Your defense needs some work, and your goaltending is abysmal.
You know, the defense.
I don't think the goaltending's abysmal. I don't think Vladar is that bad.
Yes. He's really not that bad. If you actually look at Vladar's stats, not just look at his.
That's their issue.
Because like with Vladar, like again, like the arguments I made on Flyer and everything, if you like his 898 looks like you're like, oh man, he was under 900. If you actually break down and look at his games, like he's actually I think if I'm not mistaken, I don't remember I have all the stats in front of me right now, but like he had more games over 900 that he had like less than 9 and then under 900. And like I had mentioned, there was 3 games that really skewed his save percentage. Yeah. He had 2 under 700 and 1 under 7 something.
Yeah,
and one was like I said, one was in relief. He faced 3 shots. He let in 1 goal. One was like he it was a back and forth game, and one where the coach left him in for 8 goals. Like so, and those 3 games really skewed his numbers. And like Alex said, like I mentioned last time, his 5-on-5 save percentage. He was only a couple points behind Dustin Wolf. And Calgary had an awful PK last year, and that really hurt his numbers also. So, like, look, I'm not saying that Dan Vladar is like the next Sorokin or Shesterkin. No, but we don't need that. We just need somebody to give us at the very minimum league average goaltending, which is something we didn't get last year. We had an 876 team save percentage last year. That's fucking awful. That is awful. Pretty good. So, like, if you can split the games between Urson and Vladar, even if you go straight down the middle, 41-41, Urson has showed when he plays limited amount of games, he could be at the top of his game every single game. And same thing with Vladar. So you don't have to overplay Vladar, you don't have to overplay Urson. If our tandem could just at least give you league minimum goaltending, like league, not league minimum, but league average goaltending. Plus, with the additions that we made down the middle. We acquired Zegers. We signed Dvorak. We still have Cates. If Poots can be healthy, now we actually have a solid middle.
I'm hoping that Dvorak contract works out for you. By the way, sorry to interrupt you, but I'm really hoping that does because it's 1 year, it's $5 million. It's really not that bad. But like, if he does like turn around and become like really, really good and finds his game again or whatever, if he hits a high ceiling. The only downside to that 1 year contract now is that now you got to pay the guy a little bit more. That's the problem. The cap going up.
The thing is, the Dvorak signing, this is why I think also Briere was looking for like just a center to bring in for a year. This is a guy that like I don't expect Dvorak to get like 40, 50, 60 points.
He's not going.
He's not. He's a 35 to 40 max point player. But what he does bring, he brings some size. He brings face, like he brings face, like he's a beast in the face-off circle. And at the end of the day, he's versatile. You could play him on the third line, the fourth line, on the wing, if ever. Like if you need a guy to take
second line. He can play second line center for a while.
I don't think he's going to be playing there, barring injury.
I'm just saying, if need be, he can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
Like a Scott Lawton Swiss Army. That's exactly what he is. He's a new Scott Lawton. He's a Swiss Army.
I agree with that, him being a temporary solution, because I think Jetlachenko might depending on how he develops, I think that's how he'll be. But
that's exactly it. He's basically insurance for Luchenko if Luchenko doesn't make the team. Because honestly, like again, with something we've spoken on to before, Jet Luchenko, like this year for him, like I think there's just no point in him going back to juniors. Like the fuck else is he gonna do in juniors? He can't go to NCAA, he can't go to the AHL. So where do you want to stash him? So I think if he has a pretty good camp, he makes the team. I think he has to have a really bad camp to like go get sent back to juniors. So I think that's why also like the Dvorak signing was just have a stopgap in case Luchenko doesn't make the team. So I don't know. I think look, the Flyers defense, I think it's not great, but I think it's solid. Like Sanheim, York, and Drysdale and Seal are a pretty decent top four. So I just think, I think like Alex, I think the Flyers are gonna fight for a playoff spot because I find like them because I think like Alex also the Pittsburgh and the Islanders, I see them as the bottom two teams. But I see like a big cluster, honestly, like a big cluster of Columbus, the Flyers, New Jersey. Look, every year everyone's like, oh my God, watch out for New Jersey. But every year it seems like they end up doing something to screw it up. I'm not 100% sold on the Rangers. Yeah, exactly. But that's it. But there's always something. And because or else I think, I don't think the Flyers make the playoffs though. Also because I think
Eric, without going too far into the other teams too, because we could probably revisit that too as we go into the second portion of this, the playoff team, the teams that did make the playoffs. I mean, New York didn't, but we're splitting them up in fours here, I believe. So where do you actually have the Flyers finishing in terms of placement? Because points, if you give someone a point number, that could mean anything. But like in terms of like what place you would see them in the Metro.
I would see them anywhere between 6 to 4. Oh, that's the range I see them in. Most probably 5 to 6, but like that's it. Between 4 and 6. That's where I see them finishing. Because I think like I said, like they made a lot of small sneaky additions that really solidified a lot of the problems that they had last year, and I think they could really sneak up on some teams this year. Where then maybe like teams won't expect what's coming at them, and we'll see. But I think they're probably gonna fight for a playoff spot the whole year. But like I think finally they're just gonna come short.
And anyway, I wanted to say this about Dvorak. The one place where Dvorak's contract might bite you in the ass is he tends to get hurt a little bit. He won't miss the whole season. But he can get hurt and miss 30 games, and I think that's where that might bite you. But then again, he doesn't. But he seems to every year.
Meanwhile, Kirby Doc pulls a fucking like toenail, and he's out for the entire fucking season. Yeah, your team has a history of taking people that are injury prone, don't they?
What a stupid comment, if you ask me. I'm sorry to say.
I'm not getting in on that one.
Rick just doesn't have a good response to that because he knows it's true. He got Dvorak and he got Kirby Doc. Sorry, Rick.
I said it's a stupid comment.
Listen, I was on the Kirby Doc injury tree before anyone was.
All right, let's go on to the Columbus Blue Jackets, who finished 7th in that division. I was a little surprised.
No, they didn't. Penguins did.
The Penguins did. Yeah, this is slightly out of order. My apologies.
That's okay.
I just wrote them in order of my thoughts. Or maybe where I thought that they would finish.
You have a spin.
Let's go with Columbus anyway, just because I already mentioned them, and not to backtrack too far. Anyone want to take lead on that?
I'll go. I like Columbus. I really like their team. They got a lot of good young players. Marchenko took a real big step last year. Kent Johnson took a huge step last year. Like they got some good young kids, and they got some good veterans. Like Monahan had a career year, like one of his best career years last year. The only thing is can they keep it up? That's the only issue with Columbus, right? So, like we'll see. I don't know. Like and like goaltending, Jet Greaves, like, look, he only played 11 games last year, but he had a 938 save percentage and a 191 goals against average. Like, that's insane. Like, and Merzlikins was god awful. So if they can actually get some decent goaltending the whole year, like, that can go a long way. So that's it. If their kids keep on taking another step and they get that solid goaltending, and like, look, Werenski was a finalist for the Norris. If he continues his trend also, like, this could be a scary team. This could be like a really good team for the next few years coming. So,
I just want to mention something funny. The moment Vogel went and absolutely attacked Ken Johnson as a bad draft pick. He did the meme of where you sit up forward when you're playing the video game, and it's a mixture of that and the MJ thing. And he goes, and I took that personally because Kent Johnson broke the fuck out this year. What a year he had. And I got to say, I look at Columbus's top six. Adam Fantilli, he had a great year too. He was over a 30-goal scorer in his second year. Like, good for him, man. That kid was the third overall pick, and this draft, you could argue he probably would be top 2 in most drafts. He was supposed to go second overall, but then the Ducks went Carlson. Not saying Carlson's a bum, but I still probably would have won Fantilli in that situation. But Fantilli had a great year. Boone Jenner continues to be a good captain. They added Charlie Coyle via trade from Colorado. He's going to probably slot right into that middle six. They added Matthew Olivier to a contract extension. He's their version of Trent Frederick, pretty much. Good bruiser on the body.
Their forward group, Alex. Their forward group is good.
It is. Marchenko,
I thought
he broke the fuck out too last year. That kid.
They could use a smidge. They could use a smidgen help on the wing, I think. But I think center, their 4 centers are pretty solid.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Down that lineup. They did lose Corrali, but
I think they could. I think left wing. I don't know if Boone Jenner should. I think Veronica. My bad if I botched the name.
Voronkov
is probably the second line left winger of the future. They got more Russians than we do. Holy crap!
Yeah, they got a lot of Russians.
They do. They do. But. And then there's one massive thing I have to shit on Columbus for. What the fuck was that Ivan Provorov contract? 7 years, $8.5 million for him? The only thing you can get with Provorov is durability, which obviously is needed. Guys,
but Alex, just look at how much money they have, dude. Like, they have $16 million in cap,
guys
bro.
eventually in contracts like that is what make it. Well, eventually, not now.
Yeah,
but
cool. They have to sign what? Cole Sillinger, Igor Shinakov. They really don't.
Didn't they trade him?
No, he asked for a trade, but he's leaving a trade.
Oh, okay. I thought they had moved him.
No. But I mean, and Ken Johnson's not up until 2 more years. I mean, if you just look at where the trajectory of the cap is going, I mean, like that contract means nothing, dude.
But then those guys are going to get higher pay rates than what they used to get. I understand the cap trajectory argument, but Ivan Provorov, even with the cap going up, is not $8.5 million player. He's probably like a $5 to $5.5 million player. So it was definitely an overpayment. They do have money, but I'm just saying when you have to pay guys like the Adam Fantillis of the world and the Marchenkos of the world and the Kent Johnsons of the world and the Voronkovs of the world. Yeah, that. And I don't know what Werenski's contract looks like off the top of my head. I don't know how long he has left in his deal.
He has 3 more years at $9.5 million.
I just want to point this out there that they have $16 million to Alex's point about like how bad.
$5 million. I'm sorry.
Alex, 9.5.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I just want to point this out there to the point about why I said like that contract means nothing. How much money do you think they have in cap space next year?
Probably about 40-something million.
They have 46 million. How many people do you think they need to sign?
I'm not looking at media right now, so I'm going to take a guess and say 7.
So that means they needed to get to the floor. They still aren't at the floor yet.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's for next year, not now.
Yep. And they have 10 people that they need to sign next year. Charlie Coyle, Boone Jenner,
I gotta see it. Hold on.
Cole Sillinger, Igor Shinankov, Zach Aston. I'm sorry, Adam Fantilli, Zach Aston Reese, and then there's one that is currently an RFA, Mikhail Pathia, and then you have Erica Branson. A few of these are going to get bridge deals, and not all of them are going to get $10 million. Cole Sillinger's probably going to get 7. Shinaikov is probably going to get 7. Fantelli's probably going to be 8. Let's be real here. They're not going to be that much. They'll be fine. That's why I say it's irrelevant.
Boys, we got a little bit of not major, but
say word.
Mini breaking news.
Say word.
Number 1 overall pick, Matthew Schaefer, has signed his entry-level contract with the New York Islanders for 3 years.
Buddy, that was like hours ago. You are so maybe breaking news. That was hours ago.
Wasn't he going to college?
I literally posted that on the DPM. No, he
so.
signed his ELC.
No, he's not actually.
He's now ineligible to play in the NCAA.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You can't sign an ELC and play in the NCAA.
Sorry, everyone. Alex is working on Internet Explorer.
Hold on, I need to see when he signed it. It was announced at 7 p.m. on the dot. So it wasn't hours ago. It was a little over an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, and I posted it on our Twitter.
I just wanted to hit the breaking news button. Is that
Bomb,
so bad?
dude. Oh my god. He's like, breaking news from 2 hours ago.
What happened? I look at my phone. I'm like, well, I don't see anything.
Breaking news to me. I didn't hear about it.
I'm just like, what the hell happened, right? Oh my god. He goes, guys, we have some breaking news. Like, okay, we'll say it. Use your words.
Nobody lets me have fun.
Was that like your bad transition into talking about the Islanders? We haven't even talked about finished about Columbus yet.
No, we're not done with Columbus yet. I just wanted to hit that breaking news button.
I think I think the Columbus is the team that's going to be on the outside looking in. I think they'll be in 5th place. They'll be around there. Merzlikins is solid. Well, wait, hold on. Alex, how do you say his name? Merzlikins.
Merzlikins. There's no N.
Go shout out to Vogel there.
Merzlikins.
Yeah, I know.
Not hard. It's not rocket
It's a little Merzlikins.
Yeah, you guys can't get away with the link part. There's no link.
Just eat me, Rick.
No.
Anyway, good shout out to Vogel for smacking Alex down. We miss him. We absolutely miss him. No, I think they'll be on. I think honestly 5th place. I think they'll just miss.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Playoffs.
I kind of think you're right. I don't think they're going to be good enough to make it into the playoffs.
I
think they'll be close. There'll be a race there for the wild card, but I don't think they make it.
You know what? Them making the playoffs will be contingent upon their trade deadline, what they do, where they stand.
I think they make it, and Ottawa's the team that they replace. I have the Columbus Blue Jackets in the playoffs this year. I do.
Who are they replacing? Sorry?
The Ottawa Senators.
Oh, you mean so you're saying that the Atlantic Division is going to have? Oh no, we put 5 teams in last year, right?
Yeah, he's thinking there's going to be
right.
4.
Okay, I get
It'll be 4-4 this year.
Yeah, I could see that actually. I could see Ottawa.
It's the only team I think that is the new team entering.
I think Montreal could be had. Honestly, I do think Montreal can be had.
I didn't want to say it, Rick, but I think there could be a little bit of a sophomore regression too from Montreal.
Oh, you guys are nuts. Montreal's going to be 3rd place in the division.
Over who? Over who?
You know what? Actually, I wanted to maybe
hit the lunk alarm.
I wanted to maybe wait till we did the Atlantic. But does anyone else have kind of concerns about the Toronto? No, I don't know. Look, they lost Marner.
Hold on, concerns in what way? Let me ask you this: concerns in what way?
Well, I'm not 100% sold on their center depth. Like, yeah, they re-signed John Tavares, but John Tavares had a career year. Like, he had a real good year, like out of nowhere last year. Austin Matthews' health is really starting to become concerning. He's like it's a couple of years now where he's not like at 100%, and he missed a lot of time this year. So now you take away Marner, a 100-point player. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying Toronto's gonna miss the playoffs. All I'm saying is that I'm a little concerned about the Leafs. That's all I'm just gonna say.
I'll say this.
I'll address this real quick.
I'm not concerned because if they do bad, I'd be happy. So I'm what's concerned about? Let them fall
I'll address
out.
this real quick. Their center depth is the same. Their center depth is the exact same. So I don't know if I have concerns about them at center, but maybe on their top line right wing, maybe. But they did get Matthias Michelli, so I don't know. He's not a 100-point player. They also got Dakota Joshua. Like, I don't think I have much of a concern about Toronto being bad. Like, yes, they lost Mitch Marner. But I would actually say that team looks a lot better without Mitch Marner than it does with Mitch Marner. Because what's Mitch Marner gonna do for you? And like I'll save all those thoughts for when we touch upon the Atlantic. So I mean, stay tuned on that. But
let's bench you for the Atlantic because this is honestly something I'd really like to debate.
Because I'll just give the little prelude to that. I think the Leafs are going to be much better without Mitch Marner than with.
Well, can I just say this? If we're just for a second, I kind of think the Leafs might not win the division, but they're going to be stronger in the playoffs. That's my concern with them.
But they got to make the playoffs first.
They will. I don't think they're going to fall out.
All right, this is going to be like when we get to the Atlantic, which sucks because the Atlantic is literally the last division that we're going to cover because of the Stanley Cup champions.
Okay, yeah, let's get back on track.
You're right. Let's get back on topic.
Reverting back to Columbus, I think Columbus, similar to the way with Calgary, they're going to have a chip on their shoulder because of what happened with Johnny Hockey and his brother. I think Sean Monahan is going to be more determined more than ever because he won the Bill Masterton this year. So I don't know. I think their playoff hopes are contingent upon what they do at the trade deadline because I think they have a lot that they could use in terms of leverage to get what they need. And it might not be a lot. It might just be a small piece or there that's just complimentary. So I think fifth is where they end up.
Can I say this? I kind of disagree with you about that, like Monahan having a better season, whatever. The Johnny Hockey team, it was last year. I don't know if it has the same impact on them motivationally going into the season. I honestly don't think that's the case.
I kind of agree with Rick there.
I kind of think they're a little bit better of a team, though, overall.
That I agree with.
So I think maybe they'll see an improvement there, but I don't think motivationally it's long enough ago. I don't think it's going to have an effect.
I mean, I would agree with you if it was 2 years, but I think after 1 year, because you're still grieving on the loss, and now you actually are able to regroup and be like, okay, this is the year we can actually focus on it and say it's for Johnny. Like, you know what I mean? People always say like in the year one.
But it happened just before camp, right? So it was very fresh. They were really pumped emotionally, like it motivated them. It's a whole season and an off season in between. I think it dissipates that a little bit. It's not that they don't forget the guy and they don't miss him and all that. I don't know motivationally how much that's going to mean.
No, but I think it still empowers the locker room because even now people still talk about Johnny Hockey. I mean, if you lose a parent or a friend, like if we talk about just the thought of losing someone, whether they be a parent, a friend, a family member, whatever you want to call it, those thoughts on them never really leave you. Like, for example, my great grandmother passed away 3 years ago. She still finds a way to motivate me to be the best I can every day. And that's my great grandmother. But Sean Monahan and Johnny Gaudreau were very close, so he could still use, and I don't mean this negatively, but he could still use Johnny's memory to get him motivated because he's still very close with Johnny's wife.
I get it, but
that's where I disagree. I think there's much motivation. But if we were talking like 5 years later, 3 years later, 2 years later, I would say it would start to dissipate, but not just 1 year. I think that's a little bit
the way people are today. No, I think with the way people are today, I think it dissipates. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. For them, I hope it doesn't, and I hope you're right that they still get motivation from it, and they will somewhat. But I don't think it's as impactful as last season.
I'm kind of with Rick. I think that it does have some level of motivation still, but not to the extent that it did last year. but I have them making the playoffs just because I think they're a good team, especially their forward core.
Mhm.
That team just looks like it's geared up and ready to go. And Eric made a good point too. If they can get some level of consistency from Greaves and their goaltending, watch out. This team could be a real sleeper team this year.
I agree.
I'm starting to see it with Columbus. I'm seeing the vision.
I agree with Eric on the
It's
Greaves part. I don't know.
it's not just
Merzlikins
Greaves.
was a stud, but I definitely agree with
Yeah,
Greaves. Greaves needs.
But they just
I'm sorry,
they
I
just
shouldn't say he's a
re-signed
stud, but
Tarasov.
he's been better.
I think they're not. I don't think Merzlikins is the guy. I think it's Tarasov. They re-signed him to a
Tarasov, yeah,
decent
Tarasov.
contract.
No, he got traded to Florida.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Oh,
That
never
was
mind.
the,
Never
Yeah,
mind.
Greaves is their backup now.
I'm not doing good
Or
with goalies tonight.
Starter.
No,
I think he's probably. Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be an even. Well, not an even split, but I think they're gonna go back and forth early in the season, and then someone has to just like take the net. And I think Jack Greaves will probably be the one who rolls with it.
It's crazy that if you look at Florida's goaltenders, what they have: Tarasov, Brandon Bussey, Sergei Bobrovsky. Like I don't know.
There's a lot of
loading
thought
up on the
Bob's going to
goaltending
fall
front.
off this year.
I'd imagine he's played a lot of hockey. He's played
Yeah.
a lot of hockey, but we'll get to that too. I mean, I don't know. Where do you guys? Oh, so Alex hasn't been in the playoffs. I would imagine. I definitely don't think you have many higher than 4. I find that very
4
hard.
is where I have them.
Yeah. So you have him as a wild card. Eric, what do you feel? And Rick, how do you feel? Eric first.
I have to agree. I think I see them around 4. I think they end up finishing around 4. The question is how many teams come out of the Atlantic, because I think Columbus could be that team that comes out of that 4th team that's going to come out of the Metro, but it all depends on how the Atlantic does. And that's why I said, like I said before, I could see Columbus maybe stealing a spot. So I think Columbus ends up 4th.
Rick.
I think they fight for a wild card, but they don't make it. So
Wow.
5th.
So 5th.
And I kind of don't think
they could go
5.
4th. They could go
I don't think we're
4th
gonna
until the
see-
Atlantic goes 5.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I kind of don't see that happening again. It's not. I mean, it's not like a ton of times you see a team cross over like that. So I don't think it's going to happen again.
No. The Atlantic.
I mean, it could, but I'm
the
just
Atlantic
giving
has strong
my opinion.
trumps.
Yeah.
But then again, also, like, you look at the Metro and like the Rangers, who were supposed to make the playoffs, like everyone thought didn't make it. But then again, you have a team like Washington that a lot of people didn't expect making the playoffs.
Washington's going to take a step back. I
think
really
they
think
will.
that.
No, they're
I
not.
think they will too, but like
Yeah,
not enough.
they are. They're not going to be riding the high of Ovi like they were last year.
Right.
I don't think it was
definitely
Ovi. I think you
out.
have like I don't think it was just Ovi. I think Alexi Protas is turning into a really good center. Pierre-Luc Dubois is working out for that team. Tom Wilson has turned it around, and then you have Ovechkin, and you also have a bunch of other players on that team that they're just gelling.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're going to be bad. I just don't think they're going to have the run that they had last year. Like,
there won't be as much of a point gap.
But you had a lot of things pretty much go their way. Like, you could see a few things just take a step back compared to last year.
Possibly. But
anyway,
all right,
let's move the Isles.
He's quick to it. He's like, let's go to the Isles. The kings
we've
of
been
mediocrity.
for over 20 minutes. I think it is
The
time
emperors of mid. The Islanders.
And that's it for the Islanders. Let's move on to the next team.
No, come on, dude. I actually have them being better this year. Like,
really?
I do.
Worse. Have them being worse.
You
They
have
are
them
going
being
to
worse?
be
No.
one of the biggest disappointments in hockey this year. Let me go into why. Their wingers suck. Look at their winger core, man. Kyle Palmieri, who's 35?
Yeah, something like 35.
He's
something like that.
Currently posted into your top 6 somewhere. Shabanov might eventually get there, which was an underrated sign of them. I will give them that.
Sipakov. Heineman.
Jonathan Drouin is currently in their top 6. He's not a top 6
He could be hit or
winger.
miss.
And then
No, he's a middle
Andre
6 winger.
Who is kind of more up and down every year. You don't know what you're going to get out of Anders Lee. Some year, like he either has a great year or sucks. And there's really no.
See, I think the biggest question isn't necessarily their wingers. I think it all depends on if Matthew Barzal can stay healthy.
I think that winger core is the worst in the division, personally. For now. They do have a good center core. Bo Horvat and Matthew Barzal is a great 1-2 punch down the middle. JP Pajot is probably one of the best 3Cs in the NHL, in my opinion.
Yep.
Casey Cizikas is a respectable bottom sixer. Like, they got a very good center core in general. And, they brought in Tony DeAngelo mid-season last year. He got 19 points in 35 games. He was on pace for over a 40-point season. So,
God,
if you get a respectable season from him offensively.
Who the fuck let that happen? How does he still have a job?
But he's a talented defenseman.
He's actually a good offensive defenseman.
I understand, like Tony DeAngelo has some talent, but he's just a dick.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
I didn't say.
But hey, Sean Avery. Sean Avery had a long career.
He's a known cancer in a lot. He picked a fight with his own teammates. You really want that in your locker room? I just don't get it. Like, maybe he learned his lesson, sure, but fuck that guy. Like, he's just a guy. It's like bringing any of the guys from the 2018 WJC on. It's like, it's a risk.
Oh, jeez.
Like, I'm not like, hey, they were acquitted, but I'm just saying that's still a risk.
There's only one player out of those 5 that's a real chance of playing in the NHL again. So.
Yep, apparently.
Yeah, probably. Well, it doesn't matter. They're all ineligible, but that doesn't matter. Like, Tony DeAngelo is a dick. He's known to be racist. He's known to be all of these things. His own former teammates have said that they hated playing with him. Like, I don't even know why you would want that in your locker room.
I'll give the Isles this. I like the Romanov contract. I think that was a good deal for them, that extension he had.
Just ignores me.
Oh, I mean, Tony is a dick. What else do you want me to add to that?
Dude, their left side is great. Their left side is awesome. They have Romanov, Pollock, and Schaefer.
Oh, yeah. That's loaded.
Their right side... Their right side is... Oh, I'm sorry. It's Adam Pellick, not Pollock. Pollock's on the right side.
Pellick, yeah.
I mean, they're just missing a right D1. I don't think Tony DeAngelo is your number 1 right D. Like, you have Ryan... Like, Ryan Pollock is pretty solid. He's I think he's a middle guy. And then Scott Mayfield's a decent depth defenseman for them. I'm okay with that. Their defense, 5 out of 6 of them are pretty solid. Cam,
if Tony D is your 1D, this is what you're going to hear every time teams enter the offensive zone when he's on the
ice. Listen. I'm only going off by what Daily Faceoff says, and they could be inaccurate. Yes, I understand that, but if that's what you're
not 100%.
Because Adam Pellick and Ryan Pollock have been defensive partners for a long time. I don't see that breaking up. So maybe they're your 1 and 2, but then what? You're gonna have Romanov be your 3 and Romanov and DeAngelo be your 3 and 4.
Do you really play Scott Mayfield as your 1 RD? Do you move Pellick up to the 1 RD and play on his opposite side? Like.
No, I mean, it's fine. I would say 5 out of the 6 of their defensive core is really good. And their goaltending is stupid. So honestly, I have them making the playoffs just on that alone. What? I do. I think they might squeak in a 4. I think they might squeak in a 4. Bold take. Put this up with the Nashville Predators take that they're not gonna win the cup. But I have a feeling, like, I don't know. Schaefer is young. He's very determined. It's fresh blood. I still think they need help on the offense. Don't get me wrong. I'm a firm believer in that. Very firm. Yeah, but I think
if they rush Schaefer, that's a mistake. He should be.
I don't even think he makes a team.
Maybe he's probably the only draft pick who might be NHL ready this year. But I still would even consider not having him make the opening night roster.
No, I think he'd be on the third pair. I think he'd be on the third pair. They're going to give him a 9-game try and see how it goes. I don't think they're going to use him aggressively. But I think if they do keep him, depending on their moves at the trade deadline, yeah, you might see them again. I think they're like Columbus. I think they're dependent on what they do at the trade deadline.
Fair.
That's my thought. I don't think they're 8th. I don't think they're the worst team in
No, that's going to Pittsburgh. Wait until we get
going
That's Pittsburgh.
that's going to Schittsburg, buddy. Trust me.
But I think they're 7th. I think
Yep.
the Flyers are better than them. Like, in all honesty, I'm not that impressed
I don't think
with
the Flyers
the
are better
Isles'
than them.
current team. If you hit me up in a couple years, I am impressed with the Isles prospect pool because they got some real talent coming from there soon.
No,
Especially with the draft they just had with Schaefer, Eklund, and Atchison. I'm so sorry, Eric.
Yeah.
You have Cole Ironman,
fine.
who, mind you, did take a little bit of regression. You got Callum Ritchie from Colorado. Like, they got a good pool. The Isles they're building something nice there. That's probably
So then why is it
I will
so
say
unreasonable? So then
if
why is
you
it so
ask me
unreasonable
2
to
years ago,
suggest
I
that
had
they
the
might
Isles
not
as a
make it?
qualified pool. If you ask me now, I think you have an argument that they're almost a top 10 pool. They're
So
doing
with
it
their pool, so on that my question is, so with their pool, why is it so unrealistic to think that they might have a chance of making the playoffs?
because none of these guys are NHL ready yet.
Exactly.
Well,
I think
I don't know.
honestly,
it
when
could-
it comes to the Islanders, I think this year they're gonna take a step back to take 2 steps forwards next year. Because you look at what they're doing right now. Like, look, Matthew Darche came in, like they got rid of Noah Dobson. Noah Dobson was their top
That's a
defenseman.
big loss.
They got rid of him. They have
People
Pajot
are
and they have
saying it
Lee
wasn't a
that
big
are
loss.
UFAs. They have Pajot and Lee that are UFAs at the end of the season. I think they're gone by the trade deadline. I think they're entering into like a mini rebuild, which honestly I think they should have done like I think a couple years ago. It made no sense why. You know, they kept on like doubling down on this aging veteran core that like never produced anything like the last 2-3 years. So that's why I think that's what Matthew Darche is trying to do. He's trying, like I said, 1 step back, take 2 steps forward. So that's why I think, like Alex, I think actually the Islanders finished 7th in the division this year. Because I think honestly, talent-wise, you said that you don't think they're as good as the Flyers. I think the Flyers honestly are better than them in almost at every position. Like the Islanders don't have a player like Mishkov
in goalie.
Huh?
No,
Yeah,
no. I think
100%.
I think the Islanders goaltending is better than the Flyers, and I definitely think the Islanders defense is better than the Flyers.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Not the current decor. No,
the current decor is now, and I don't think Schaefer makes the team.
The Isles decor is a bunch of second pairing guys. Outside of Romanoff, it's a bunch of second pairing guys.
I'm not saying that the Flyers have a way better defense core. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that is I can't say that the Islanders D is better than the Flyers. Because honestly, if you want to say they're kif like almost identical, fine, no problem. I'll agree with you that because right now your first pair is Pelech and Polak. Like they're good defensemen. They're fine. They're good defensemen. But are they that much better than Sanheim and York?
No.
Sanheim made Team Canada. Like
if you asked me this, I would take Sanheim and York over Pelech and Romanoff. If you ask me which pair I would take.
And like Romanov, like he's a great young defensive defenseman. Okay, well, we have Nick Seeler who can block like 200 shots a year.
You have Jamey Drysdale who's starting.
Jamey Drysdale is if not is better than Tony.
They still have Alex Romanov. They still have Alex Romanov. Adam Boquist.
Romanov is a defensive defenseman. Like he's
Wait,
not a point
Adam
Boquist.
Adam
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, he's a bottom pair guy, but I think up and down that defensive lineup, I think
did you say Adam Boquist?
Yeah.
Adam Boquist isn't on the Islanders.
Adam Boquist is on the Islanders.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And they got him at a good, cheap deal.
Yeah, but Adam Boquist
is Scott Mayfield again. I think it's 2 different types of schools of thought here, especially when you're going to think about it. Like I would see if you were to tell me that the Flyers definitely have more offensive-minded defensemen, I'm going to agree with you 100%. But in terms of like when I think of a strong, powerful defense, there's no question that's the Islanders. Like they are a very strong defensive group.
I don't
know.
I said, look, if you compare deep pairing by deep pairing to the Flyers and the Islanders, it's very similar. Like I said, I'm not saying that the Flyers have a better defense than the Islanders. I'm just saying that like I'm not gonna say that the Islanders have a better defense pair. Like look, I don't even know if Schaefer's gonna make the team. On it personally, if it was me, I don't even think Schaefer's making the team. I don't.
Wait, then what was the premise of the argument?
I'm
my
saying
question, guys. So
that
then, if
if
you're
you
not
look at
saying that
pair
their
by
defense is
pair,
better, then what was?
no,
pair by
you s-
pair,
it's
you
because
might
you
have.
had said that the Islanders have a better defense than the Flyers. I
Well,
disagree.
that was
I go,
premised by you guys saying that up and down the lineup that they're better.
yeah, I
So
honestly,
that would
other
make
than
sense.
goaltending, I
better
think
wingers.
I would
Islanders-
put the Flyers defense slightly better than the Islanders. I
I
would.
think it is slightly better too. I personally think that. I think Sealer and Drysdale is a better overall second pair. Well, actually, you know what? No, let me rephrase it. I think Pulock and
No,
Pelech
not
are
even-
probably
no.
a better defensive pair for sure. I would say the Flyers have a better first pair because who the hell's playing one
Flyers
RB?
have a better. Here's this. I'll give you guys the better first pair, but I think the defensive depth on the
Isles have a
on the
better
Islanders.
second pair. We have a better third pair. If
I do not think you
Risto
guys
is
have a better
healthy.
third pair.
If Risto is healthy, that's the big.
I
if.
don't think you guys have a better third pair.
If Risto is healthy, we have a better third pair. Rasmus Ristolainen is a second pairing defenseman on the third line. On the third pair.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think Risto could be a 4 on almost any team. The way that like he's actually been played the last couple of years. Obviously, health is a big issue with him, and that's a
why
problem.
I say if he's healthy.
Yeah,
Did
exactly.
you guys see Rick's face, by the way? He looked like he was stoned out of his mind for a split second. He's just sitting there patiently. Rick, do you have something that you would like to say?
No. You guys are
Rick's
doing
enjoying
fine. I
the
don't think I
show.
can add. I don't think I can really add anything. So I'm listening.
Oh, I can't.
No,
We'll have to see who has the better numbers. No, I don't think they're going to be 8th. I don't think they're going to be 7th. I think they might. You know what? Maybe they don't make the playoffs. But if they do, how about this? I'll rephrase it this way: if they make the playoffs, it'll be on the back of the defense and the goaltending. That's definitely for sure. It'll be the same situation where I think the Boston Bruins. If the Bruins make the playoffs, it'll be on the back of the defense and the goaltending. It will not be off the forward group.
I do have one question, Cam, because you said the Flyers are 6, correct? So
Yeah.
you have them. So
No,
if
I
the
said that
Islanders
is the
are
high.
7,
No. Don't get me me wrong here. I have the Flyers at highest the 6th, which means they could still be 8th. They're not going to be 8th.
So who would
They're
be
gonna-
the other
they could-
team that they could end ahead of?
Who? The Flyers?
If you have them as high as 6,
I think
but
the
you
Flyers
seem
could also be
adamant that
7th.
The Isles are going to be pushing for,
I would honestly, if I were to redact what I said and say the Isles would make the playoffs contingent upon on the back of the defense and the goaltending, because let's be real, the goaltending is good enough to make that happen, and the defense is good enough to make that happen.
That I'm not.
But if they were not going to do that, then I would say they could potentially end as high as 5th. As high as 5th.
Okay.
But that means they could outbeat the Flyers. In all honesty, the Flyers might be competing with the Islanders for 6th. So for them, I don't think the Flyers take that giant next step, but I would say 6th or 7th, and that could be the Flyers' competition.
All right, let's move on to the last place team because we know who we're all ready to rip on.
Oh, Rick doesn't want to get a point in edgewise here.
Oh yeah, Rick. What would you?
On the shitstorm that just ensued, the battle of the Flyers fans.
Okay, I agree with Cam as far as and isn't it every year that they get there on the back of the defense and the goaltending?
Yeah.
So I don't really see anything different
pretty much
this year. I kind of think they're gonna battle for a wild card. And if you go by like the last few years where you go, they can't make, and they make it. So I don't know, 4th or 5th.
We're going off trending now. 4th or 5th. Oh, okay. I have them placing somewhere between 1st and 8th in the division.
There's a big gap between 4th and 5th. What are you talking about?
No, that's just me because I said well, if they make the playoffs, and then if they don't make the playoffs, they're an interesting team. I like what they did. I think maybe if Callum Ritchie and Emil Heineman and if they can actually make the team, then that team is that much better. But who knows? We'll have to see. Schittsburg, tear it the fuck down.
They have one.
It's time to acknowledge. It is no, I don't even think they have one line. I think it's time to acknowledge the fact that the Crosby era is rapidly coming to a close. Carlson was an extremely bad contract. Letang's health is continuously in question. The guy's had at least one stroke, and he's still playing. Two. So I said at least one.
Oh, yeah.
And then Malkin's, I think this is his last year. And then Crosby is aging. Now, mind you, he's still aging like fine wine. But the team needs to take a step back and I think realize that this is just not going to go anywhere anymore. and they need to figure it out. Because I am deathly afraid, no pun intended, that Chris Letang is going to be run into the ground, and I am afraid for that.
Run into the ground. He's already been ran into the ground. He's been bad defensively for half a decade now.
I don't even think it's just a bad defensively. I'm concerned in talking about his health. It's his health.
Yeah.
Like his health and his minutes.
Yeah, he's cleared by doctors. I don't think he's playing against doctors' orders.
In all honesty, Rick, with some news that comes out about team doctors and how some of them have been paid to keep their fucking mouths shut and just clear people, that has been documented in the past.
No, I know
I don't know how. It's not common. I'm not saying that's what the Pittsburgh doctors are doing, but money talks, and so 2 strokes is no joke. I'm not sure his doctors were saying, "Go out, buddy, and go ahead."
No, but I don't know if you're totally understanding what he has. I don't know exactly, but from what I remember, I don't think it's like a life-threatening thing. It's something that they can keep under control.
Didn't he?
It's something like that. It's something that they can control. I don't think they'd let him play.
I think it was similar to Teddy Bluesky, to be honest with you, when he played for the Patriots back in the 2000s.
Right. I remember that he had some health issue. I don't think it's something that he's going to die on the ice. I don't think they're worried about that. So, I don't think that's the thing. He's just old as shit. I mean, Letang is as old as he's an old defenseman. I don't, whatever. It's a team that needs to, like you say, they got to make do some kind of a retool. But I mean, they got to get rid of Carlson to do that. You got to find somebody to take Jarry, and they're trying to do that, and nobody seems to want him because he's got 3 years left at 5-point-something million. So they're gonna have to find partners that are, they're gonna have to retain and move some guys out before they do that. And seriously, they just signed Crosby to 2 more years. I don't think they're going to do that until his contract's up.
Do you want to hear?
Yeah, that's a shame too. The Carlson contract is an anchor.
I want to give you guys a funny statistic of the Penguins from last year. I don't know what the full end statistic for this was, but this is a massive reoccurring thing for the Penguins. Do you know how many times they allowed a goal on the first shot of the game last year? Now, I only have the updated amount for, I believe it's their first.
It was something ridiculous.
64 games. I don't have the full season. They allowed a goal on the first shot of the game 13 times last year.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
But I don't know what the last 18 look like.
Who's the culprit? Is it Jarry that's the main culprit on that?
He was a big-ish part of it. But
yeah, nobody wants to touch him, apparently. I was just because I just saw something about
Wasn't it you, Alex, that was defending Tristan Jarry at one point?
I've defended Jarry. I think he's actually, when healthy, I think he's actually a decent goalie.
I don't think Jarry has been the same since that series he had against the Islanders where he just was a complete head case. Does anyone remember that in the playoffs?
But I think he was hurt during that series, or he had just come back from an injury. I don't remember 100% though, but I know what you're talking about though. Yeah, he got shelved that series.
There's 2021.
It's going to be crazy when the Penguins get McKenna. They're going to get McKenna. You know it.
Please,
you know it.
It's 100% happening.
Yeah,
I know it is, but please
don't. They're going to do it.
Anyone but them, please. I'd rather be a lockout than them get McKenna.
It's gonna be them.
It is.
It might screw them up, actually. They get McKenna, they might think their rebuild's over. They don't have to do a rebuild. It might screw them up.
Dubas is dumb, but
I think if they get McKenna, actually, I'm with Rick on that. I think if they get McKenna, because they're so saturated with older players at dead money, it's going to run them into the same situation that the Chicago Blackhawks are in, where Bedard can't grow. So it's actually going to do McKenna a disservice. Unless McKenna is as good as they claim with respect to Crosby and McDavid, then
okay, but will he be that the first season? I don't know.
Crosby was, McDavid was.
True.
No, but look, the Penguins, the best thing for them to do is just to go into a rebuild, because like you look at their lineup, it's like come on, let's stop fooling ourselves now. And honestly, I think I don't know, again, I don't know this as a fact or whatever, but I would not be shocked, and I think I might even call it. I think Crosby is traded by the trade deadline. I don't think he makes it past the end of the season in Pittsburgh. I think they come to a realization, and I think Crosby to himself must have come to a realization where it's like this team is going nowhere. It's been 2 years of just dreadful, ugly hockey. Like, Malkin's not coming back. They said it. Malkin's gone. So he's definitely getting moved by the deadline. Like, unless Malkin wants to be a real prick and say like, listen, I'm not waiving. I'm just gonna play out this year and then just leave and go to Russia or whatever he does.
I got that,
but like, I'm sure like him too. Maybe like he'll go somewhere for like 2-3 months and try like and compete for a cup or something. So I think Crosby does the same. I think he says, guys, you know what? Trade me. Get at the whatever you can. Like, I'm sure he's gonna tell them, listen, I'm gonna only go here or here, but like you get whatever you can for me. And then look, at the end, if they do get McKenna or whoever else they get in 2 years, he could just resign in Pittsburgh and just retire as a Penguin and just play like 1 or 2 more years and then just retire. So I think it's the best thing for them. And I think they've been slowly doing it the past couple of years, getting rid of some guys, bringing in some picks, bringing in some more picks. And look, they have 7 forwards that are UFAs this year. 7. And it's not like, and they're not like all scrubs. They have some actually half decent value. So I think this is going to be a big trade deadline for them. They're going to try and accumulate as many assets as they can. And I think it's going to be like a 2-3 year, it's going to have to be a rebuild, because
it's going to be a lengthy one. You're going to see what happened with the Detroit Red Wings when they came to the end about 10 years ago. They're in for unless if they fucking lock their way into McKenna.
Unless they get
it's going to be quicker
GM
than that.
who can do it. If they're going to rely on Dubas to make this rebuild, I don't know.
I will say, I don't think
you forget that Dubas.
I think
Kyle Dubas helped build the Toronto Maple Leafs. Like, he built an elite team that just couldn't do anything in the playoffs. That was the only problem. So I don't think it's like
a pretty good problem to have.
Kyle Dubas did that. You sure?
He was part of the team that brought in Matthews and everybody at Marner. Yeah,
he was part of.
Yeah,
maybe, but so were a bunch of other people. So was Shanahan.
I don't think Dubas is necessarily. Yeah, Kyle Shanahan also sucked, but like, you know, I don't know. I think Dubas can do it. I mean, it's kind of hard to not pick Gavin McKenna if you guys get the first overall pick. I'm sorry. Like, it was like when the Bruins had James Higgins sitting on their lap, and I was like, come on, Don, this one's an easy one. This is a D all of the above answer.
Dubas can do a rebuild. Will it be a good rebuild? I don't know.
It's not always that easy, eh? Because sometimes you have, like, you know, you got Higgins in front of you, but sometimes you take Brady Martin. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not Barry. I was so surprised. We can go back to that and revisit how stupid Barry Trotz is.
So I had fucking Predators.
I couldn't believe it. You should have seen my fucking face. Stupid. So long as Dubas isn't a Barry Trotz, I think he'll be okay. Or a Steve Yzerman, I think the Pittsburgh Penguins will be okay.
But that's a big, as long as it's carrying, it's doing the heavy lifting there.
Look, they got a lot of picks this year, man.
Dubas wouldn't be my guy to rebuild the team.
Yeah, they got a lot. They have 1 first-round pick in the 2026 draft so far. They have 3 second-round picks, 2 third-round picks. They don't have anything in they don't have anything in 4 or 5, but who gives a crap? Because they already have all the other ones. Like, and you don't think that they'll likely, and I mean probably trade maybe Thomas Novak, probably Kevin Hayes. Like, they're probably gonna trade Ricard Raquel. Like, I look at it. Dan Heinen, maybe. I mean, he's a 1 year, 2.25. Maybe they keep him. I don't know. Depends. I don't know why they signed Justin Brazeau, but I see them keeping Philip Tomasino. There's a couple guys I see them keeping. They are going to try and move Erik Karlsson, but it's on Erik Karlsson's terms because someone has a no movement clause. And whoever thought that was a great idea should be shot twice.
Yeah, the guy that you're wanting to rebuild the team. That's who did it.
I don't think Dubas gave him $10 million. He took on that money.
But you're right. You're right.
He didn't give him that. He took it on because
so
he
the
thought
no
Carlson
movement was
could be
there.
revitalized.
No, you're right. My bad.
So, if you're gonna get rid of that Letang contract, you're gonna have to retain 50%. There's no way you have to retain the maximum allowed.
No, that's contract not going anywhere.
Who's gonna take that contract?
That's the thing. He's 35, and are you gonna want to pay him $5 million? Send him to Toronto. Yeah,
Ron Hextall.
Toronto would do it.
Fuck them with all these extensions.
Vegas would do it.
Oh my God!
I can actually see Erik Karlsson in Toronto. I think he makes a lot of sense for Toronto.
I look at this team. There's maybe their first line's good. Malkin's on a heavy decline. Rucker McGorty is going to be something, obviously. But then it's like Anthony Mantha, that's a throw-in player, a third-line guy. Justin Brazeau, he added him, whoop-de-fuck. The decor is Erik Karlsson, who can't play a lick of defense anymore. Chris Letang, who hasn't been playing defense in 5 years.
Their defense is a problem.
Shea, whatever. Connor Clifton, he's a third-pairing guy. Matt Dumba, another third-pairing guy at best. Like this, it's so many holes with this team.
But Alex, they're gonna be so heavily involved in free agency next year. Like it's gonna be nuts. They're not gonna re-sign Evgeny Malkin. He's 39 right now. He's gonna be 40. They're not gonna resign Kevin Hayes. They're not gonna resign Anthony Mantha. They're not gonna resign Denton Heinen. They're not resigning Achari. They're not actually they might sign Blake Lizotte because he's young enough. They're gonna aim to get younger. Trust me, they're gonna be fine. If anything, next year, I think they'll be fine. I don't think they're going to be a playoff team. I shouldn't say that. I think they're going to improve. You're going to see them improve.
No, they aren't. Are you kidding? They're in for a Detroit Red Wings style rebuild. That is still arguably.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying they're going to get better in terms of
especially if Crosby is traded. Who's going to want to go?
I'm saying they're going to get better in terms of the talent that they are going to acquire. And what they will eventually grow into. They're not going to turn it around and become Stanley Cup contenders immediately, no. But they're going to get better in the sense of they're going to get players that will take them in that direction. That's how they're going to get better.
Cam, they're not going to snip the playoffs to the 2030s. You can.
Did I say they were going to make the playoffs?
I didn't say that you said that. I said they're not, but I'm going a step further. They are not sniffing the playoffs until
5 years.
30s.
Yeah, 5 years. I say 5 years.
At the minimum.
Because they have a goalie in Archer Sealogs.
Their prospect pool is.
5 years. If they do a rebuild and it's successful, it's 5 years.
Yeah. And to be honest, they could. They have one of the greatest players in the world that they could leverage to get talent back. They're actually in a unique situation where they could do it. And that's if Crosby wants to go, because the package to receive Crosby doesn't matter at what age, because he's still producing at a high elite level. They have the potential to turn around faster than people think they can.
He's still producing at a high elite level, but the age he is, he's got 2 years on his, and he's probably finished at that point. So how much are you willing to give up to get somebody for that limited amount of time?
For a year and a half of Crosby, teams are going to give up something.
Yeah, they'll give up.
If he's still a point per game player, especially this year, if he by the trade deadline, if he's still on pace at a point per game, you're gonna pay for Crosby. Like someone's gonna ante up.
Rick,
someone's gonna do it.
Let's just say.
Sorry.
No. I'm gonna.
Colorado paid Cal Ritchie and a first for 3 months of Brock Nelson, who's like half a point per game. Like, what do you think Crosby's gonna go for at this? Like, no. Someone's gonna pay up. Someone's paying up.
He'll get a damn good.
Wait a second. Wait.
Think
I got an argument to that. You don't have an argument. Because you said he's gonna say, "I'm only going to these places." Yeah, that takes away a lot of your leverage.
Not as much as he's
not really.
It
because they can still say no.
You're right, Rick. But I think what helps Pittsburgh's case is they're going to say, okay, but Crosby has 1 more year. I don't have to trade him. If you want him and you want him for 2 playoff runs, this is the price I want. Now, obviously, if he was open to the whole league yeah, I could see like someone's gonna could shoot them like a stupid like 3 first-round picks and player X and player Y. But like, yes, because it's limited, the return will be more condensed. But I think it's still gonna be a really good return.
I'm not saying it's not going to be
the Flyers.
decent.
The Flyers got Owen Tippett and a first when Drew said Florida or nothing, and we still got Tippett and a first.
And that was Chuck Fletcher working that.
Yeah,
that guy can't even fucking work a freaking a pay by phone. He's stupid.
And if you're a team that has not made it to the Cup final in a long time, Montreal. Oh, I'm sorry. Hasn't won a cup in a long time, Montreal.
I don't know that Montreal.
You're going to tell me that you would not pay a substantial price to have Crosby, at worst, be your third line center going into the playoffs?
For Montreal?
I'm not saying, like, Alex, I understand. Zach, I understand, guys. I understand, guys. But if you wanted to spread depth and make that team aggressive, would that honestly be a bad choice?
Yeah, if it's Montreal that you're talking about, I think depends on what the ask is, because you're not giving up a Michael Hage for 2 years of Crosby. You're not.
Oh, God.
Somebody was saying trade Cole Caulfield.
No,
I forget for who it was. And it's like you're going to get a guy for 2 seasons to give up a guy that you're going to have here for 10 years that's going to help you win cups.
But those are 2 seasons when you're not ready to win a cup. But those are 2 seasons that you are competing for a Stanley Cup.
But you're not ready, and I don't know that Crosby necessarily puts you over. But you're gonna sell Caulfield and Michael Hage your future.
No one's saying Caulfield.
No one's gonna give Caulfield.
Yeah,
but Michael Hage and then
somebody told me that. Somebody said that and said I'm stupid.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't want to give up Caulfield.
No, you're not going to give up the egregious amount like that. But like, you could give up Hage, who's a guy that is showing NHL promise, and then first round picks, because you don't need your first round picks if you're Montreal right now. You don't.
But it's what I said. It depends on what the package would be that they ask for. I don't think Montreal just gives whatever just to get Crosby at this point.
No.
Now, if you asked me that earlier, before they made some of the moves, like before maybe the season playoffs finished, I might add a different answer. But I think at this point, with what Montreal's done, I don't think that they're just giving up anything to get him.
No, but like, let's say let's say Pittsburgh says, okay, we'll take Kirby Dach. We're gonna we want Michael Hage and we want 2 first-round picks for Crosby.
I think they balk at Michael Hage. I'd be honest with you. I think they do.
That would be a massive mistake. I think you do that trade every day.
You have to give something up.
Like, you're not gonna get
Crosby you have to give something up.
Like,
I get that you have to give something up. That's not lost on me, but it depends what. Now, I could be totally wrong. You guys could be right. I'm totally wrong. But I don't know if it's me. I don't know that I'm giving up hate.
Podcast, buddy.
What's that?
Listen, these can be wacky takes. Give it whatever. It's the fun point of a podcast. You're wrong, but that's the point.
Oh, okay. I could be wrong.
No, I mean it's fine. Like, these are opinions. Like, it doesn't matter. These are opinions and all hypotheticals. Like, it doesn't matter. Someone could hit the lottery and everyone could be right. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. I don't know. It's fine. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Pittsburgh is going to be a dead last in their division. They're going to make it. They're going to get fucking McKenna. It's going to piss all of us off. We're all going to cry about it. And Crosby's probably going to get traded to his bum fucking team. He's probably going to go to Nashville for no fucking reason because they seem to love old people.
He's going to Colorado.
I would be, if I'm the NHL.
No. I have a hard time thinking that now. They don't have the money.
If I'm
Colorado screwed themselves.
They'll make it happen.
If I'm the NHL, I'd be worried about if Pittsburgh gets the first pick. Like, it's too obvious. When Crosby they got that pick, and there was talk that was like a setup that this.
Yes, because Pittsburgh was bankrupt, and if they didn't do that, they would have moved to Kansas City.
So. If they're gonna pull it off that way,
I have another one for you.
I don't think they do that. So if they get another one for you, it's totally legit. I would think.
Rick, I have another one for you. Look at what happened with Edmonton and Connor McDavid. Buffalo had a significant advantage over Edmonton to get those picks or to get McDavid.
Yeah, but
McDavid should have been a Buffalo Sabre.
Sometimes what I'm saying is if they get McKenna, it's not because it was set up by the NHL. I don't think they can.
How many first-round picks did Edmonton have in a row? Like first overalls?
They finished at the bottom of the league for how many years?
They had the third best odds at him. When Pittsburgh got Crosby, everyone had almost even odds at him. It was just a ridiculously random draft because that was the year after the lockout.
Yeah, that's fair.
And because of that,
Or but also look at New York, the Islanders too. They got Schaefer.
it's funny you mentioned the Islanders. They got Schaefer, coincidentally, right after they had the All-Star game pulled out of New York. Put the tinfoil hat on.
I'm just saying, you can fall around down a hole with a rabbit hole with these conspiracy theories, and I'm not saying anything is necessarily right or wrong.
How many?
They're fun.
Theories are
Sometimes they're fun. Other times they're a little aggressive.
They're fun, but they're not accurate.
On it though, like they were this close to moving to Kansas City.
And I'm just saying that right now there's a lot of scuttlebutt about ownership in Pittsburgh again, right? Just
Fenway Sports Group is trying to sell again.
So now uncertain ownership again, and the team's really bad.
I hope John Henry keeps that team for the next 50 years. Please.
I honestly hope John Henry decides to trade Sidney Crosby to the Boston Bruins. Cuts them all. No, they won't do that.
Well,
they won't
because Crosby has to want to go there. I don't think he's going to Boston.
No, but I do. I don't think Rick understands the point. Like they're owned by the Boston Sports Group. John Henry owns the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why the joke is there, Rick. It's not serious. It's okay. It's not that deep.
Well, I didn't think it was serious. I'm just saying. But let's move on because we're running kind of late.
Who cares? We're having a good time.
Lots to get to.
We don't really have that.
No, I know that. But,
all right,
I mean,
we're gonna play a game of Who'd You Rather. And this week's Who'd You Rather was between Cale Makar or Quinn Hughes. And to nobody's surprise, I'm gonna give a wild spoiler alert: is that everybody here picked Cale Makar.
Yeah.
Ooh. No surprise. You guys will be surprised to hear that when I put the poll out on all of our social medias, that it was actually quite a bit of mixed reviews between Quinn and Cale. Cale.
I don't think that's a surprise. I mean, they're close. It's a good two guys to compare, right? I mean, because who the two probably best defensemen of that style are those two guys.
I think that they're just the two best defensemen in the league right now.
Right. Mm-hmm. So that it's a good comparison, but to me, Makar is better.
Yeah. I think Lane Hudson will eventually make his case for that, by the way. I think he will make a case for top 3 defensemen. I don't know about top 2 yet. I need to see a little bit more, and he needs to be consistent.
But, and in a couple of years down the road. I agree with that, but yeah.
But he has the potential to be a top 3 defenseman.
There's 3 guys that play a certain style,
So in case you guys don't know how we play Who'd You Rather, we basically put this up, we talk about it, we debate it, but apparently no one was fun and decided to pick Quinn Hughes. So we came up with a second one to surprise you all with tonight for this episode, and it is Crosby versus Jaromir Jagr. Gentlemen, who would you rather have? State your case. Dun, 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 dun.
I'll leave this. I think I'd go Crosby. The 2-way, I know Jaromir Jagr is second all time in points, but you look at the whole Cy Young version of the NHL, and that's Jaromir Jagr. He played 80 bajillion years and had the opportunity to pad his stats a little. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's an incredible talent, first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the better NHLers I've ever witnessed. But when you play in the NHL that long, you're going to keep adding up points. And he was in the NHL to 43, I think?
I think so.
It was something like that.
He's still playing.
Was still pretty productive up until that point.
No, he's not still playing.
Crosby's 2-way game. He has much better accolades. He's probably offensively one of the most gifted players I've ever seen. He's hovering around 1,600 points now, if I remember correctly. Was something close to that? I'm not looking. I'm just going
he's over 1,600. He's
1,687. Oh, 1,687.
So he's closing in on 1,700 points. Crosby ain't done. He has an outside shot of sniffing 2,000. I don't think he quite gets there, but I could see.
That's how many years he plays still.
3.
I think he could play another 4 or 5 years. I'll be honest. I think Crosby can play 4 or 5.
I don't think he wants to push it as long. I think Crosby's eventually he's gonna have something left in the tank when he retires. I don't think he's the type of
You
guy
know,
that is going to want to play till he's 42, 43.
I could see him playing little longer. What concerns me a bit with Crosby and his play would be the concussion history he has. And when we had David Backus on and he talked about his concussion history, it was very eye-opening. For us it's very easy to say hey, yeah, he could play a couple of years, but if you look at the head, it's the head injuries for me. And then Crosby had a couple of concussions, if I'm not mistaken. So I think he'll take that into consideration.
It almost ended his career. Concussion.
Yeah. And I'm glad it didn't. I'm glad it didn't.
Now, despite what I said earlier, I could see this. Crosby gets moved. He goes to a team, whatever team he chooses, right? He goes there. And something about the team, either the young players, whatever, sparks him to rejuvenates him a little bit. And he might get a couple extra years out of that. I can see that. But I do agree the concussions could play a part in that because his career almost ended because of a concussion. Because of multiple concussions, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That was also early in his career, though, no?
No, I'd say midway into his
2012,
career, yeah.
But didn't they if I'm not mistaken, didn't they figure out it wasn't actually concussions, it was something in his neck? And then he had that fixed, and then I don't think he's had problems since, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Are you talking about Jack Eichel?
No.
No, I don't.
Jack Eichel, I think, had problems.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
First of all, I'm joking. I was joking, but I don't ever remember hearing anything like that. So if that is the case,
if I'm not, I remember it was a good almost 2 years where he was in and out of the lineup because he couldn't play concussions.
Yeah,
and then he went to go see a doctor, and again, I could be 100% wrong, but I remember I pretty much remember this vaguely, but they found something. It was in the neck, and they had to work something in the neck that cleared up the headaches.
I don't recall
anyway,
that.
But
what you're talking about is that that's post-concussion syndrome, so that's different. So he could still have a concussion history, but yes, I agree with you, Eric, that the post-concussion syndrome. Now, if that's what he was suffering from, that lines you up for CTE big time. And so I feel like if they were able to fix that and declassify that or unclassify that as post-concussion syndrome, perfect. Then that's the same thing. But I still think his age and health with the game getting faster, especially looking at Letang with his two-stroke, I feel like there does come a point in time where he's just is it worth getting, David Backus said, is it worth getting to 1,000 points? Is it worth getting to 1,000 games or whatever have you? What's it worth to you? Is it worth your health? Is it worth being able to play with your kids? So, but I don't think, I don't know if Crosby's married. I'm unsure. I don't know if he has kids.
I think he is. Yeah.
I think he's married with kids.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Then, it becomes that question because no amount of money is going to be able to fix you. At that point. So I think he'll take that into consideration. But we're talking about this in the sense where when they're playing in their prime, who would you take? Crosby in his prime or Yager in his prime.
I'm sorry. He's not married. He's been with his girlfriend since 2008.
I saw a picture of him.
Says he's not married.
I just saw a picture of him last week, and the caption said Crosby and his wife.
Is he? Oh, I just did a quick Google search on him. So
I'm just saying I'm going from that picture. So, and I didn't know at the time. It caught me I didn't know he was married. To be honest with you, but it said he was married. So let's stop the conversation.
I don't know. But
okay, so if you're going Crosby or Yager in his prime, this is what I think separates them. For me, to pick one or the other. Crosby's leadership skill, being the captain, he's an exceptional leader. And as much as Yager is too, I don't think it matches what Crosby is and how he literally motivates the rest of the team. So I pick Crosby for that.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to compete that because Crosby does have a Marc Messier award. So yeah, you have a good point. I'm not saying it's not there. They both have the same amount of Ted Lindsay awards. Crosby has a lot of hardware, man. And I mean, I don't want to do the Conn Smythe trophies or Stanley Cups because that could always depend on what team you're on. And it's like, you know what I mean? Sometimes like, I believe getting to the Stanley Cup is not just an individual effort. It is a team-based effort. Yeah, and I think the Conn Smythe, I mean, him definitely winning the Conn Smythe, I mean, it's kind of hard for him not to because at the time he was the greatest player on the ice. So I don't want to discredit Crosby for those, but I want to take those out of the equation a bit here. And the same thing for Jaromir Jagr. Like, take his 2 Stanley Cups out, take Crosby's 3 and Crosby's 2.
And leadership value. Leadership value speaks high, like head and shoulders to me above Crosby is.
That's a very good argument, Rick. And honestly, it's fair. Like I said, and his two-way game has always been better than Jagr, in my opinion. I think Crosby is one of the most underrated two-way players of our generation.
It's a good point because you take that and the leadership. I don't know. Can you get a better player, modern player than him right now? I mean, you can say McDavid
is a top 10 player all time. You could even argue top 5, but I think he's a top 10 player for sure.
There's so many great. I don't know, but top 10, but he's in that top group.
I
think Jagr is just as equally as good as a two-way player. And because Jagr has played on several different teams, not all of them
good.
One
major difference, Jagr played on the wing. Crosby was a center.
Sure. I mean, yes, that does impact it a bit. Yes, I agree. But he also played on the Capitals in 01-02 to
he didn't do great there.
04.
That wasn't a great time for him.
No,
that wasn't a great part of his career, Capitals. I remember.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's played on some pretty bad teams. He played on the Rangers. He played for Philadelphia for a year.
Can I say something?
Dallas.
Can
Boston,
I say something about
Jersey,
Washington?
And ended his career with Florida and Calgary.
Let me say something about Washington. Washington.
I did.
When he went there, he was supposed to be the guy there, and that didn't work out. So I say again, I think Crosby in that situation would have been the guy there and made a difference where Jagr wasn't able to. And to me, that's another reason why I would pick Crosby.
I think there's several factors when you talk about being the guy. And I'm just playing devil's advocate because I find this choice very difficult for me because I like Crosby. I also really like Jagr. Yager's also an ageless wonder. Like I believe he's still playing. He might still play in the KHL. It's
he owns a team and he plays for them, I think.
Yeah.
He's in
so I mean, like
Czech Republic League, not the KHL.
He's retired though. He's retired now officially. He's out of hockey. He's finished.
When was that announced?
At the end of the season.
Good. But you still got to think like with his career and how he continued to play. I mean, it's a wonder. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like Jagr was never a captain.
But wait, we're talking about in their prime. You can't really bring that up.
I can. Okay, fine. If I would pick who in their prime, I might go with Jagr. I might.
Well, I'd say Jagr was in his prime when he went to Washington, and he wasn't able to do what I think Sidney Crosby would have been able to do.
Here's what I have to say.
I think
that puts Crosby here. 2014 season, I'd say, was the beginning of the dead puck era, at least for our version of it, where scoring was at a minimum. No one could put up points. Look up the 2014 point totals. Crosby was the only 100-point guy that year, and it wasn't even close who was second. I think Ryan Getzlaf was second. He was like at 86 points, something like that.
My only argument with the 2014 era is because Jagr also played in there, but he played in it in an advanced age with respect to what he was. That was 23 years in the NHL, I believe he had. When he was drafted in 1990.
Played in the time that Jaromir Jagr did and had the opportunities because scoring was a lot higher in Jagr's prime compared to Crosby's. If Crosby played in that time, you could argue he could sniff 130, 140 points.
With Lemieux, he would have been playing because Jagr was playing with Lemieux.
Yep.
Yeah. The 90s
so you put Crosby and Lemieux on a team, and I think Crosby's numbers would have been even.
I think they would have been higher. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't disagree with that. Like, I'm just making the case for both of them. Like, you know, I'm just trying to say, like, you know, take this at all corners. But like I said, I also think Jagr might slightly edge Crosby in the two-way game. Very slightly. Very slightly. And it's judged by the plus minus and all of the different teams that he's played on. I know you don't like plus minus, but he is a plus 312. I'm sorry, a 322 in 1,733 games played. That has to count for something.
What's Crosby?
Crosby is a plus 197 in 1,352. And don't forget, like, that's 300 additional games that was happening at an advanced age for Jaromir Jagr.
Can I say this?
There's got to be something said there.
Can I say this as a thing? Jagr played with Lemieux.
Sure.
Jagr probably didn't get these. I think Crosby had more minutes.
Also true.
I think
so. When you're playing that many more minutes, yeah, your plus minus might be down, might not be as high.
I don't know about that.
Who do you think the best player to ever play on Sidney Crosby's line is? Because Malkin was a center, so it wasn't really him that
they
much.
They really played together. Yeah, they didn't play together that much on 5
They didn't, no.
I think that's another good point, right?
I don't really like. I mean, he had some time with oh my God, Jerome Iginla, but Iginla was near the end of his career when he went there.
And by the way, Crosby and Jagr's time on ice totals are equivalent. They're the same.
So my point
by average.
There. It was a thought. But still, didn't Jagr play like on the same line as Lemieux? Like I thought, because one's a winger, one's a center.
Yeah,
you got to think that might have increased his numbers a little bit.
Those early 90
Crosby had no Lemieux.
Those early 90 Penguins teams were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're talking for a couple of years too. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying Crosby didn't have people on his wings that he didn't play with that were decent at
didn't have a Lemieux
level.
He didn't have Mario Lemieux.
You can't really compare. So in this case, Crosby would be the Lemieux. Jagr, you're looking for an equivalent to Jagr.
Okay, so here's another point. Like you have Lemieux on the even if you're on different lines. Well, you're going to kind of key on the other line because you can't really, you know what I mean? Jagr would have had. Maybe that's not good for my point. I think I got to take it back. I just think Jagr playing with Lemieux would have had better numbers. If you want to compare them like that, Crosby didn't have a Lemieux to help him out.
I think even if Crosby would have played with a similar Jagr player, it would have been the equivalent. I don't understand.
Did he?
The argument. Like you're bringing up Lemieux as if that was all Jagr ever played with. That was not the case.
No, I'm not saying. I don't
listen, like Crosby, Jagr's played with a bunch of different line combinations. Actually, I would argue way more than Sidney Crosby. And
this is like arbitration.
That's like
arbitration. You got to take. It's like
Jagr has traveled to a lot of different teams, has played with a lot of different talent too.
When did Mario Lemieux retire?
For a year, he played here.
Lemieux retired in '98.
He played in Dallas for some time.
So he retired in '98.
I'm making a fair point.
I don't know if that's.
I know, but I'm just trying to see when Mario Lemieux retired. I'm sorry,
but he played in Dallas when Jamey Benn and Tyler Seguin were in their prime years. He played in New York for some time. I think he played with Mark Messier, right?
Yeah. Holy shit. Mario Lemieux officially retired in 2006.
Did Jagr play with Mark Messier?
Oh, I'm sorry. Lemieux retired on two separate occasions in 1997 and then a second and final time in 2006.
Jagr played with Messier, right? When Messier was with the Rangers?
No. Messier retired.
That was the mid '90s. Jagr was a rookie in '91, so he was in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
When did Jagr go to the?
No, he did play with Messier.
I knew it. I wasn't
in the 04 season.
So without Mario Lemieux, I just want to debunk Rick's point here real quick. Without Mario Lemieux, Jagr put up 102, 127, 96, 121 points the remaining years he's did with the Penguins without Mario Lemieux. So I don't know. where that necessarily is. He had 149-point season with Mario Lemieux.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was mainly Mario Lemieux. And then in 2005-2006, he had another 123-point season with the Rangers.
He had that much with the Rangers, really? What did
Yeah,
he get
he had
in
a couple good
Washington?
seasons with the Rangers.
What kind of seasons did he have in Washington? He didn't have 100-point seasons.
Bad.
Yeah.
Well, no, they were
79
point per game seasons.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that he wasn't, he wasn't like over a point per game.
No, he wasn't over a point. His average with the Rangers was over a point per game.
No, I know. I'm just saying with Washington, like he never really went super past a point per game. Like he was always either close to a point per game, or like I think there was one season where he was 1 point under. But like with the Rangers, like you said, he had that 123-point season.
But
Yeah,
when you're
exceeded,
when you're well over a point a game regularly, and then you're at a point a game, it is a fall off.
So I'm just trying to. That was just like my point to the argument. Like I don't think Lemieux really. Yes, you could argue. Like arguing that Lemieux inflated his numbers is not necessarily true because he was up and down even with Lemieux because he was still a young kid at the time.
Okay, that's fair.
So I don't know what you want to do with that. What you will.
So here's
I mean,
what I think. What is everyone's final pick?
Crosby.
torn.
We'll call Cam
Torn deeply. Honestly, it's a coin flip. It's hard for me to actually make it. Call it a cop out, whatever you want. It's really hard for me to make that decision.
I don't. I get it because I don't think he's that. Like I don't think he's head and shoulders above Jagr.
No, I agree with that.
A little bit.
No, if I were to actually be, if I had a gun to my head and I had to pick one, and I would give it very slightly to Crosby, and it would only be because of the leadership aspect that Crosby would have.
That's what I'm saying.
The other aspect of it would be I like Jagr's style on the wing, and he had, I think, for his height, one of the longest NHL sticks. It's a weird way for me to bring that up, but that's just my argument for it.
They put a gun to Cam's head. Choose or die.
I'd rather die, I guess. I don't know. No, I would still go Crosby if I had to. But
you're here.
If I was going into a draft completely blind and I wasn't sure on who to pick, it would be a coin flip. Like if this wasn't in hindsight and they were both in the same draft, it would be a coin flip for me.
But my biggest thing is also like the center position is a big factor. That's one, and two, like the thing with Jagr is that like those 4 years that he was in the KHL, like after the Rangers, those 4 years that he was in the KHL, and so he wasn't producing in the NHL, and like his last season at 35 with the Rangers at 35 years old before he went to the KHL for those years, he was under a point per game. He had 71 points in 82 games at age 35. And even when he came back to the NHL, he was never a point per game or even like close to a point per game, where Crosby's still putting up a point per game at age 37. So that's also, I'm thinking like points wise, the longevity of Crosby, that's still putting up that many points at that age. That's really impressive to me. So now we'll see what happens like this season and next season with Crosby. But if he's still putting up a point per game at age 38, at age 39, then I'm sorry. Like I definitely have to give it to Crosby, where now I'm kind of leaning Crosby, but like if he continues at this pace, then like I'm sorry, I'm going Crosby.
Again, but we're sort of talking about them at their prime.
Yeah, it's not at the advanced age.
Yeah.
Because it's hard because both of these players played through several eras, right? Like
I counted. I think Jagr had 500-point seasons in his career. Crosby, I think, has 7.
It's close.
I'm going to recount. Give me a sec. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, we're talking about like prime and their seasons, but 1, 2, 3. I can't be right. Only 3. I went with the right 4. So. Yeah, Jagr has 400-point seasons. To Crosby's, I think he has 6.
Okay, so it's still a difference of 2.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Okay, so a difference of 2 is not that much.
No, but I'm just because if you're saying in your prime, like they were getting 100 points in their primes. Well, yeah, Crosby hit 100 points 6 times. It's like
It's 100-point seasons. It's something.
No, I agree. I just think it's just 2 additional times. Like it also get like the teams you play for at that time too. Like Crosby has not played for another team. That's the only reason why I'm like that also has to take an effect. But no, I think it's a good argument. I think it's a fun argument too because it's like 2 of the Penguins like most prolific players to play for the teams. It's an argument that like would have like if I were to say Crosby or Malkin, everyone's going to pick Crosby. No one's going to pick fucking Malkin.
I don't like Malkin, so I would definitely not.
All right, let's go into our final topic of the NHL 2026 cover reveal. Today, on the day of this recording, EA Sports released the cover athlete, which is historically, or it used to actually be done by a fan vote. It's no longer done by that because people suck. Actually, I don't know why they ever really stopped that. I don't know the backstory of that, and I'm pretty sure Alex will be the freaking encyclopedia with that information. But they revealed today that the cover athlete is going to be Matty Tkachuk. I'm a Bruins fan, so that's to my dismay. Even though he's a great player, he deserves he earned those 2 cups in my opinion. But in this case, I definitely don't think that he should have been the cover athlete. That's my thought on it.
Should have been the Kachucks. I mean, I'm sorry. Should have been the Gaudreaus. Should have been Johnny Gaudreau and Matty Gaudreau as side by side. I think you had a perfect opportunity there.
Mm-hmm. I want to preface this though, Alex. Like, assuming the family did not speak out and say we don't want that.
Agreed.
Assuming that the family would have been happy to see that.
Yeah. If they asked the family and they preferred not to, that's completely different. Then I respect Meredith and Co's wishes. Definitely say okay. If that was the case, I still think they were better picks than Tkachuk. I will say that I said this in our group chat. I do think it is a cool picture. I will acknowledge that. But it was not my first pick. Probably wasn't my second or third pick. I think it should have been the Gaudreaus. I think that would have been awesome. Maybe like a picture like of them holding like a Stanley Cup picture, and then one of them with like their BC days, and another picture with Johnny.
Neither of them won a cup.
With like a half.
But can I ask something? Did Matt Gaudreau, did he play in the NHL at all?
He played for the Minnesota Wild.
I believe
he did play in NHL games?
I think he played for the Minnesota Wild.
He was in the organization maybe, but did he play NHL games is my question. Because if he didn't, then I don't know that they would put him on. It's an NHL.
I'm sorry. He played for the Islanders.
Okay, so he did. Okay, so I'm wrong on that. I say this. It wasn't Lane Hudson because I had seen like a meme, I guess, with him. So I don't care.
Actually,
according to Jinx being on there.
According to Elite Prospects 21-22, the Worcester Railers, I'm trying to see his stats. I don't know if he
So he didn't suit up in an NHL game. I can see why they're not going to put him on that.
No, he never suited up for an NHL game. I think I can't remember when he was drafted. Oh, he was undrafted. So
I would say that maybe you could say, well, Johnny Gaudreau should have been on there, but I don't know that they would have put his brother because he wasn't an NHL player.
I don't think at this point it matters. I think it's just the hockey community lost two individuals, and I think that was the big thing for me. Especially Johnny Hockey and what he did for people of his size playing the game. And I think
but what if they felt it's too depressing? They're trying to sell a game. It's too depressing to have that. They might have thought it that way.
I don't know if it's too depressing because you can glow it up. Like you can just say this is for them. There's ways to make something like that not depressing. Yeah. Now I'm also I'm on the side yes, should it have been the Gaudreau brothers, or could they do something to honor them in some aspect? I just feel like these two players tragically lost their lives, and I feel like they needed to do something. What that would be, I don't know. Maybe they come out with it in the Legendary Edition. I have no idea. But also, I think it was a bad way to not even recognize Alexander Ovechkin too. He broke the goal scoring record.
And to me, that would have been more appropriate, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm-
The
Kobe was on the
sliding
cover
picture
before,
of
though.
him breaking the record in New York, that would have been an
Yeah.
awesome picture. Of where he was
So
sliding
of all-
across the ice in the Barclays Center.
And I actually agree with some Tampa Bay fans too, where they're just like, "Hey, Tampa Bay won 2 in a row. You didn't see Stamkos on the or like Kucherov. You didn't see them like on the cover."
I think
and I'm
both
just
of
like,
them have already been on the cover, if I remember correctly.
I think Kucherov and I think both of them were.
Stammer
Yeah.
for sure, I know has. I'm not 100%.
Yeah,
sure,
Stamkos,
but
I
I know
think, has.
Stamkos has. for
Stamkos was. I don't know if Kucherov was. I can't recall. But still, you have those like or Andre Vasilevsky. Like, okay, cool. Why Kachuk? Like, I just didn't understand. Like, he didn't do anything spectacular. He was just on a really, really good team. Like, I don't think he's a mold breaker. I think he's a good player.
I think considering the injuries he played with.
Well, I think right now the NHL is just basically trying to make him like one of the faces of the league, like because of his personality, because of like everything that's going on in Florida, everything that happened in the U.S.-Canada game, like in the Four Nations. Like right now, he is one of the faces of the league. So honestly, it's the only reason I can think of because I would have put like there's at least 3-4 players I would have put definitely ahead of him than on the cover. But you know what? I guess promotion, it helped like getting young fans, like they see him and they saw what happened at the Four Nations and second cup. What and like Rick said, what he played through. So that's my guess as to why he's on the cover. It's pretty much that.
And it's fresh in everybody's mind.
Exactly.
And if you're a kid and you see that, kind of, if you see the Gaudreau brothers, and you probably
Trust
gonna
me when I tell you this, that
so they're
pictures
looking
do
at
not
business.
sell the games anymore.
They're looking at it. Who's going to sell more? That's how they're looking at it. And Kachuk is going to sell more.
Or maybe they're trying to appeal to the Florida Panthers fans. I don't know. I just don't like that. Like just with this past year, with everything that's gone on, like you have a record-breaking season for Ovechkin. You have a tragic loss and a wonderful way to commemorate, like those losses. I just feel like Kachuk could have taken the back burner on this one. And in all honesty, I wish they bring back the way they used to do it. Bring back the fan vote, because in all honesty, I play EA Sports NHL with Alex. And this, like the most recent edition is garbage. Whoever the EA Sports people are making these games, garbage. Like Rick loves to say, Americans don't know shit about hockey. Tell me about it. Tell the designers of that game.
I will say it is still better than 2 years ago because 23 was unplayable.
Okay, 23 was bad. Yeah, sure. There's going to be bad ones. Sure. 24 was good, but 25 was ass. I can't wait to see. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they add swearing or chirping into this in honor of Matty
You
Kachuk.
press the X button, you can flip your opponent off.
They can say what the famous Sean Thornton quote. Hey, come here. I'll let you pick which hand I beat
Which
the fuck
hand
out of you
I
with.
beat the shit out of you with. He said that to Dale Weiss. I remember that. I hate Dale Weiss. He sucked here.
Yep.
But yeah.
I digress. Guys, final thoughts before we close out?
I gotta pee.
That's following me. That's my final thought.
Did you take your prune juice?
I didn't take bro, dude. No.
Oh. All right.
My final thought is I think we're going to see one more big trade before next month. I think there's one bomb that is going to drop still. I don't know who.
What?
I don't know what. But I'm going to predict there's one big trade to still happen before.
The only bomb that I see happening is freaking Edmonton like licking their chops as soon as they hear Carter Hart's available to sign.
I wouldn't call that a bomb.
You don't think they have a contract ready in place for that? Oh, everyone's writing about it.
Listen, if they made him eligible, he'd be in Edmonton already. No question.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm
guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Yeah. Guaranteed. And that was a filibuster comment. We saw that on Twitter. Follow him for more. Rick, do you have anything else you want to say before you say goodnight? Nope. I know we got to tuck you into bed. Does anyone remember to heat up a glass of warm milk for him? It helps him go to sleep.
Stay up later than you guys do, so never mind.
Well, yeah, most of us have work in the morning. We're normal human beings. We're not fucking.
I get up probably before you guys do, so.
Probably. Here we go. He's having Vietnam flashbacks.
In other words, I don't sleep much.
It's All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for episode 79 of the Pucking Around podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back next week with more fun and exciting NHL content for you to listen to. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on the YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social medias. We are on everything. We're on the TikTok. We're on the Instagram. We're on the everything. We're on Twitter. We're on Bluesky. Follow us there as well, just to enjoy some off-screen NHL content. Be sure to go on our website, don'tbuckwithmedia.com, for all of our blogs. Until next time. Yeah.
Yeah. Read my blog. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. Read fucking Eric's blog. He wrote it. God.
He did a good job, too.
Worst contracts. Hey, he's about to show you his blog collection. Y'all better be fucking nice.
Fucking read it.
God, read it. Give it a read. That's don'tpuckwithmedia.com. And until next time, guys, have a good night.
Ciao, everybody.
Ciao.
Promise that you'll kiss me.